presents School is Now in Session.
Welcome to Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschooled.
The Homeschooled Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
It's time to document the journey.
Welcome back to Homeschooled Podcast. I'm Augustino Zoida. It's great to see you guys. I just realized I was looking at the light and not at the camera for some reason. Welcome back, everybody. It's great to have you, and welcome back, Daniel Weingarten, who hasn't been on in a long time, bro. Good to have you back. Really quick, I just want to remind everybody, if you're listening to this right now, that means I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay, there's only one show. I'm there for one night only, so it's not a lot of opportunities to see me. So make sure you get your tickets. There's only a few left. Go to homeschooledpod.com. Click on tour. I'm at the Level Crossing Brewery, which is in South Salt Lake, and I'm there for one night only. And the following weekend, you can see me in Austin, Texas. I'm there June 11th and 12th, and I'll be there with Lee Sayat. I'm taking him to open, and so it should be good. It should be a lot of fun. And at the end of the month, Father's Day weekend, I am in Paso Robles, California, at Cal Coast Breweries. And once again, you can get all tickets at homeschooledpod.com. Click on tour. We were just talking about before we started the show that it was a long week, bro. It's been like I did Vegas, quarantined for 2 weeks, Dubai for 2 weeks, came home, had a quarantine for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And then now I'm going to Utah, next week Texas, next week Paso Robles, and yeah, dude. So
That
it
sounds like a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. But that's what we want to do. Like it's right. Great news. I was doing nothing but complaining on podcasts during the pandemic, how I missed the stage and stuff like that. So it's wonderful, you know. So I'm not complaining, but it's a lot of travel adds up, and costly, and you know what I mean. And I take the comics to open, so I have to pay for everybody's flights and stuff like that, which is
and you're also not conditioned for all that travel.
Yeah.
Right, and just it takes it out of you.
Yeah, and then you do the quarantines in between, because I didn't have to, but I chose to do a 2-week quarantine before and after Dubai, because you have to pass the test.
Oh, right, when you go there.
And to come home.
Okay.
Gotcha. And for any, you could not even have symptoms, and then also I don't trust the test. What if it comes back I have it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
So you're I don't want to take any chances.
I'm stuck in Dubai for 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been awful. So, so the quarantine's it's you get used to not doing anything, and then you go back out on the move again.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying, though, when conditioning, just doing anything. I went to the movies last night, and I got tired eating popcorn with my mask off, which was so weird. I'm it's fine. I know it's fine, but it's something my body has a response to it, of just being out in public and just interacting with people, ordering food.
You mean you're not used to not wearing a mask in public?
No, I'm not used to being super in public.
Oh,
period.
yeah,
or
yeah.
Just going with friends and having social interactions and just small talk. I just got you lose the conditioning.
And we're adults, dude. Right. I'm in my 30s. You're what, 20? How old are you now?
I'm 29.
You're 29 now, dude. Imagine.
I feel bad for kids.
I was gonna say
old people, elderly people. I feel bad for my grandma, dude. My grandma,
but grandmas didn't. I don't know. Most grandmas, they didn't go out. You know what I mean? They never really went out anyway.
My grandma was super social.
Oh, okay.
She was she went to the coffee shop. She smoked her cigarettes.
She's the Argentinian one, huh?
The Mexican one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's the one that was super. Well, actually, my grandma from Argentina was super social. She didn't give a fuck.
Really?
The pandemic. She was like, I need to go play cards with my friends.
Yeah.
I need to go see my friends.
She's like, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. she's like,
I'm almost 90.
She's like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. Yeah, she's gonna go. She's gonna go my way. Oh yeah.
And luckily they're all fine. But yeah,
my mom's mom,
the kids.
My mom's mom has Alzheimer's, and it's not that bad to where she doesn't know who we are. Well, she has bad days. Like some days she'll forget who you are. Like I call her during the pandemic, I didn't go there at all, which was tough because she's forgetting who people are if you don't see them often. So I would call her, and like she knows who I am when I call, but then somewhere in the conversation you can tell she forgot who she was talking to. And she'll ask me a couple times like, "Who's your mom again?" And I'm like, "Your daughter," but like she never went out. Like she forgets that there's a pandemic, and she would call me and be like, "How come you're not coming over?" I'm like, I don't know. Aren't you guys quarantining? And she'll like ask her husband, which is my step grandfather, I guess. She'll be like, "Jim, are we quarantining?" And he's like, no, he can come over. Like he's got to think about it. Like he's deaf and she doesn't remember shit.
That's a lethal combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, there's nothing worse than like I'll talk to my grandma and like most days I'll catch her on a good day. But when I catch her on a bad day, it's just like heartbreaking, dude. Then I think about like
I know.
It's just like she's just by herself. She's like,
You want to hear something else crazy, dude?
What?
Today, my mom was over at her grandma's house.
So your great grandma?
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
97. And to be honest with you, I found out what her name was today. Like I never. We always used to call her Grandma Sharp because that was her last name, or is her last name. And but I never knew what her first name was. Like I don't talk to her. Like I'm not close with that side of the family. So I just literally found out what her name was today. She's 97, and I was like, oh, I don't even know her name. Like I've known of her for so long.
Yeah. Your great grandma's 97.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then my mom's that's on my mom's dad's side. So on my mom's side, her grandma only died a couple of years ago. She lived to like 96 or something like that too.
That's crazy. When you really think about how old like 96, 90, like it's a long time.
Yeah.
Like think about I'm almost 30 and I'm like I'm tired. Before this we were talking about how tired we are. And we're like 30, 34. It's like, all right, that times 3. And then also the funny thing about
they've been tired for like 30 years.
They've been tired. Yeah. Well, but like also we haven't been tired for 30, 35 years because we were like kids for most of it. So like kid years are not, we don't get tired. Like everything's good. You're not worried about death or your existence or like if you matter in the world, you're just like la-di-da. And then existential dread kicks in, and then the timer starts.
I used to get mad at people when they would belittle you because of how young you are. Like just recently, Terry from the Haha. I feel like she does it to me a lot. Like she's always brushing stuff off as not a big deal because you're young. Like I literally, but also
because you're like her kid.
Yeah,
we're all like her kids.
That's true. Like, yeah, I talked to her and I was like, I'm going to Dubai. I'm like 16-hour plane ride. I'm not looking forward to that. And she's like, yeah, but you're young, honey. I'm like, it's still a long plane ride.
But you know what's funny? If you came to me and you were like, I have a 16-hour plane ride, I'd be like, you're fine.
Yeah,
you can be okay. Because like
you do it a lot, huh?
I don't. I guess I just like I put it in the context of just like. What's 6? I guess 16 hours is a lot. Never mind. I fucking jumped the gun on that. I went like, that's not bad. That's like, and then I was like, oh, that's like going to New York and back 3 times. Yeah. Nonstop. Yeah. And then that does feel like a lot. Yeah. One time when I went to Argentina, something like that, like 16, 17, 18 hours. And
it's usually a connection though, right?
Yes, although this was when I was like a kid. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I was like committed to not falling asleep through the whole flight. I was like, I'm staying up. I'm not going. When you're a kid, and you're just like, I'm not. I decided. And we get to Buenos Aires, and it's like 10 or 11 in the morning, and I haven't slept. And we meet up with family, and we go to lunch. And there's a photo of me after lunch at like this ice cream spot, and I'm just sitting in this chair, bro. I look dead. I mean, just. Done. Exhausted. I'm passed out. I got slobber coming down like the side of my mouth. Yeah. I just look absolutely dead. It's probably the best sleep I've ever got in my life.
Oh, nice. Just at the ice cream shop.
If you can pass out in the middle of like a city center, you're good.
You know how I know I'm getting old, bro? Is like when you can think of a specific nap that was the greatest nap. Like you have your favorite naps. Like, I literally have my top 3 favorite. Like, I know where I was. I remember it. I think because sometimes it's hard to nap, or sometimes it's not like you keep waking up, but like
I love a Sunday nap on the couch,
dude.
When
Couch
you can hear
naps.
people talking in the background, where like there's people in the kitchen and you're in the living room couch, and
but
you're
it's
just passed
but
out.
you're so passed out. So like the voices are there, but they're not.
But they're not. And then you wake up and it's like, oh, is it time for dinner? And
That was,
like, oh, man, is that fresh cantaloupe? Fucking yes.
Dude, the best nap I ever had in my entire life. I was in Lake Arrowhead, and I think Jen and I just went for the weekend, and they had this deck. You know, when you go to like Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead and stuff, there's usually like a big ass patio. That's
like in a big cabin.
Yeah, and the cabin was like on the second, the patio's on the second story and just like facing nothing but trees. Like the back of the house was just forest, and it was like just taking a nap in the forest, dude. And it was like perfect weather, breezy, you know what I mean, but not cold, and just like leaves falling and stuff, dude. I passed, like we were supposed. I'm like, let me just lay down here real quick, and then we'll get the party started. It was like the first night that we got there, and I passed out for probably 4 hours. And just,
so this was outside.
Yeah, I fell asleep outside.
That's impressive. I can't fall asleep outside.
Really?
I don't know why I can't do it. I think I just maybe have like PTSD from when I got really sunburnt when I was like 11 or 12, like out in the sun. I was in Mexico, and it was like a beach trip or whatever.
You got PTSD from what do they call it? SPF 30. PTSD from SPF. Yeah. That's funny. I got what is it? SPF? No SPF PTSD.
No SPF. Yes, yeah, exactly. I was in bed, dude. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You because it was the only. This was back when like there was no streaming, there was no Netflix. It was just like we had one DVD and a DVD player, and like the rest was just like just like the news or whatever telenovela was on. Right. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You, just like aloe vera and Heath Ledger for just 2 days, and I was like, all right.
Were you in Mexico?
And maybe that's why I was in Mexico. Yeah, it was like a beach trip. I was probably like. It was like Cabo or like Puerto Vallarta or something like that.
They got those aloe vera cacti, bro.
Yeah.
In Mexico?
Those, Zoe's mom grows like those aloe vera
I grow
plants.
them too, bro. I got a bunch outside. I got like 3 or 4.
And just like...
I'll cut a piece and like not only on burns, like if you cut yourself, like it just heals. It's like Neosporin on crack. It's amazing.
Have you ever Googled something and then actually followed the Google instructions and realized that this would have made your life easier if you listened to it earlier on?
Yeah, like certain things that you just figure out.
Like small things. Like I got a really bad burn just because you were talking about aloe vera. And I Googled it, and it says like run underwater for like 15 minutes or something. Yeah. I don't have the patience for 15 minutes. Like I feel like normally you're like for a minute and then you're like, it's fine. I did 15 minutes. Good.
That's a waste of water though. It's a lot of. Couldn't you just like
in all fairness, yes.
Could you get a bowl of water and just put your hand in it?
Just let it sit? Yeah, you totally could.
And just sit there and watch TV.
I'm the reason that the environment is being destroyed. Was that moment right there? Just oh my god, the arrogance. It's like no. I know that the sea levels are rising, and that there's a drought, but I needed to not feel like pain from like 3 on a 1 to 10 scale. So
someone just asked me recently what's the most selfish thing I do, because I was saying like I really try to be a good person. Obviously I'm not perfect, but like I try to go out of my way and just be nice to people, and like especially at the supermarket, like they gotta wear masks all day. I feel bad for them, and then they're like, what's the most like selfish or like worst thing that you do? And I was like, I take really long showers. I feel like that's probably the most selfish thing that I do. It's like,
what temperature is your shower at?
Dude, I like them hot. I like them hot, dude.
Like blistering hot?
No, not like burning or anything like that. But I do like a little. The steam opens up my pores before a show. Ooh, I just like to sit in the water.
It's funny. I like a cold shower before.
Really? To wake up?
I like to be like awake. Yeah.
See, I just like to like meditate in it, and like, so I'll take like an hour-long shower, which is a really long. A lot of wasted water. Yeah, I've taken an hour-long shower.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah,
you're judging me for my little
horrible
with like a little drip out of the sink for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
an hour.
Yeah.
How often do you do these hour showers?
Not every day, but like
this is like an investigation. This is like a confession.
Probably only when I'm on the road doing comedy.
Yeah.
And there's no like
But
hot tub.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like individual decisions on a massive scale make a difference. But like, I don't know if your hour shower is the reason.
It doesn't help. And you know what?
It doesn't help,
to try to like make up for it, I never flush when I pee. Like I literally never flush a pee.
I used to never flush when I peed until I started living with my
a
girlfriend
woman.
because like it's like she smells it. It's like it's like your farts where like you don't smell your fart. I don't smell my pee.
I know.
But she can smell it.
Like she'll walk in the restroom and pee's been sitting there for a while and it'll stink up the bathroom.
Dude, why I was under the notion that pee had no smell for most of my life, I'll never understand. I was either super hydrated or clogged up with allergies.
Have you never had asparagus your whole life?
I guess I never had asparagus. I don't know why I just thought, it's fine.
Dude, one bite of asparagus and my pee will reek for like 2 days.
Yeah.
It's insane. And yeah, dude, like Jen hates it. She absolutely hates it. She yells at me all the time. I'm like, I'm trying to save water though, you know?
I'm trying to balance out my showers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing. It's your
I don't take hour-long showers all the time. But I do, like, daily, my showers are probably, I don't know, I feel like maybe 15 to 20, which is probably long. It's probably long.
I think that's, like, average.
Yeah?
I think if you average out, like, all the showers in the world, I feel like your, like, mean shower time is, like, 15 minutes. Because you have people that just jump in for, like, 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, like,
I thought average was, like, 5. Like they're in their business for business only.
I feel like time,
like they walk in and the shampoo's in the hair right away.
Right. I feel like time is an illusion in the shower.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Like I don't even. Are you sure it's 50? Like have you ever timed it, or you go by like songs on a playlist? Like I'll sometimes feel like I've been in the shower for a while, and then I'll get out and I'll be like, oh, this isn't song number 2 on the playlist. This has only been like 5 minutes.
Right.
But it felt like 15.
I'm using my body clock, which is usually very accurate. Like when you've been doing comedy for a long time, comics know your body clock is on point.
Right.
You know, like you know what 15 minutes feels like.
Yes, that's true.
Like you can get off stage and be like, what was it, 12 minutes 33 seconds? You know, like I'll look at my phone and be like, yep, it was like. I'm
imagining you in the shower running your set
because that's what I do.
Marker. Right? Yeah, you're just like, well, I ran my 15, so that's pretty much. Yeah. Through these bits.
These days I'm doing like 45, dude. So that's a long ass shower.
That's a long shower. I used to try to do that. Where I try to like before a show run like a 45-minute set in the shower, and I can't do it.
I don't really do word for word, but I'll think of the whole order.
The order of it.
And if there's a bit that I'm not sure on, I might think of word for word, and then I'll actually come up with a funnier line in the shower. I'm like, oh, why have I been using that line this whole time?
Showers are a great place to come up when you.
That's why I like to do it. Yeah.
If I ever hit a wall, like a writing block or like there's like a logic thing or I just can't crack something, a walk or a shower feel like the two best ways.
And driving.
Driving I really like. Yeah, driving too. Although driving in LA can be stressful. I feel like you got to have like I can go up to Mulholland and like go through like little like winding roads.
Well, if you're driving, you're probably driving to a gig. So I mean like if you got like 6 hours
you're
open
talking
road.
About Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
I've come up with like great ideas.
I thought you were like, nothing really gets me there like rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
5:30 p.m. in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Dude, 3 days in a row, there was an accident on the 101 where we were just stopped 3 days in a row. Like
it's bad. Yeah.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you didn't drive for a year, maybe practice a little in the parking lot before you just get right back on the horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people just forgot how to drive. You know, there's accidents every day and there's traffic every day. People
are pretty reckless, it feels like, too. Which, like, when I was 16, 17, 18, I was a pretty reckless driver because you're like a kid.
When you're a teen,
When you're a teen, I don't get the allure of driving super fast later on in life. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I like
Life's too short.
life's too short. You're never gonna get there that much faster. And I like you're saying, like I like meditating while driving.
Yeah.
And there's nothing meditative about trying to like weave in and out of traffic.
Yeah. I will admit that like I'll do that, like, you know, but it's just because I can't stand a slow driver. I don't mind a normal speed, but like if you're in the fast lane and you're going like 60, dude, I'm like, I am cutting you off. Like,
or you're going the speed limit on like a road that like nobody really goes the speed limit on.
Yeah.
Like going over Laurel Canyon, there'll be stretches where the speed limit's like 25, 30.
Yeah.
But you're going like, but then you're doing 25.
Everybody does like 40.
This feels, 35, 40. Feels like right. But then you have somebody with like an out-of-state license plate, and they're just going 25.
Yeah, they don't know.
Because they don't know. It just feels so scary to them.
Yeah, they're just following the
like,
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And also, you know what else bothers me so much? And this is like I've for years been wanting to say this to I want to pull over and be like, hey, pull over, and then just go and then teach people this. Okay, you can turn right from a shoulder. That's it. Turn right out of the shoulder. You don't turn right from the lane.
What do you mean?
So you're going to Trader Joe's,
Are we on the freeway or are we on the street?
You're on a street.
Okay.
And you're going down the street, and here comes Trader Joe's, and you're about to turn into the parking lot. You don't like slow down in your lane. And some people come to a complete stop before they turn. So you're slowing down in the lane from where you were driving, and then we're behind you, and we all have to stop. We all have to hit our brakes, and we all have to sit there and wait for you to turn. It's like you don't go like this. You go to the shoulder and then turn. When your turn's coming up, you go in that invisible bike lane.
Man, let me tell you, this podcast would kill in 1993. I feel like we're just talking about driving practices.
Hey, you said you didn't want to think too much, bro. So
I did.
I'm sorry I threw that. I was like, I'm sorry I threw that on you. No. You're like, wait, are we on the freeway or are we on the street?
We're on the street. I feel like I'm in a DMV test right now. I'm like, okay, how many feet do I need to stay between the car in front of me?
Now let me go back and address the other things you said during this conversation really quick. You mentioned the one DVD. By the way, I love 10 Things I Hate About You.
Love that movie.
That movie's the best, especially at the end, concert on the roof. I mean,
so good.
It's
iconic.
So good.
The whole scene in the football stadium, I can't take my eyes. Heath
Ledger
was
the best.
Amazing.
And what I was going to say is another little fun, senseless thing we can talk about. I absolutely love DVDs. Streaming's great, but I still have a DVD collection and a bookshelf of DVDs, and I love my DVDs. Like, I love it.
There's like a real conversation around like physical media right now, because the truth is when you buy something on Apple or on Amazon or any of these streaming sites and it's in your like digital library, you don't really own it, like theoretically. I mean, let's just say
you own nothing,
but you own nothing.
You own air.
Like you own the license to watch it.
Yeah. You own exactly the permission to watch it.
The permission to watch it, right? So like, and I think it's happened before, and by the way, if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. But that essentially somebody will buy something, but then for whatever reason, let's say Apple doesn't have the license to sell it anymore, and it'll be removed from your library.
Yeah.
Right.
After you bought it, right?
And after you bought it, and things will just sort of disappear over time. So like a lot of the conversation around like conserving media and like conserving old films or smaller films or like cult classics or just like really out there stuff that like you and I don't even know exist, but are like silent masterpieces, not like silent film masterpieces, but just like masterpieces that nobody knows about. But like big film buffs know. Is around the idea of just like physical media is the only way that we'll really be able to conserve it. And then also, if you can't, there's also like that whole ethical conversation around like torrenting stuff, right? Like I try to pay for stuff as much as I can. But if there's something that isn't available out there to be purchased or rented, but there's a torrent for it, I feel like that's totally okay.
Okay.
You know?
What's
because
a torrent?
It's just a torrent. Oh, wow. Like a torrent, like you're downloading it illegally.
Oh, so like pirating.
Pirating. Wow, dude. Am I using terms literally from like 1999? You know, you go on LimeWire and...
yeah. I don't know. Maybe yours
yes.
is more up to date than mine. Pirating,
No,
I mean, is
I
from
feel like
the
they might be
1700s.
synonymous. But I think, yeah, DVDs are great.
I've
and-
never pirated a film in my life, and it's not because like any moral thing. It's just like it's not convenient for me to go find something, download it, risk getting a virus, and it's not going to be good quality. It's never. I've seen people's version, and it's like it's always shit quality. I'm happy to pay it and watch it when I want, and in good quality.
Well, 100%. I think the argument is if it's like some small movie that was made in 1973 in like Belarus or something.
Yeah.
This is like film buff. You know what I mean? Where like the pirating and the torrenting is the only way to keep it alive. Because if not, it doesn't exist out there. It's tough to find a physical copy. You're not going to find it on Apple or Amazon. So like the people pirating it and the people keeping it alive on the internet that way is the only way that it actually stays alive. Like literally stays alive. It doesn't just like disappear forever.
Yeah.
So it's like literally the only way that piece of art
crazy.
Stays alive.
Yeah, because that could happen all the time because like Disney's always buying stuff up or you know Marvel's selling these characters to this studio and it's like so if you bought an X-Men movie all of a sudden it could just be gone from your virtual library and
it could be gone. I mean there's all that stuff in the Disney Vault. Think about like what's in the Disney Vault.
Yeah. That
like is not out there unless you had the physical media version of it from back when that was available, if it was available.
Yeah.
So it's like
preservation. Do you think there's an actual vault, or is it just like a hard drive?
No, I think there's a vault with like film prints. I would think.
Yeah.
Because so much of the stuff is like old.
It's probably like giant. That could you even call it a vault? It's like, guys, that's a room. Like that's a warehouse. Like that's
a warehouse. Yeah. It's like Disney rents it from Jeff Bezos. Like Jeff Bezos is trying to get the Disney warehouse. And he's like, can I package slippers out of there?
Like at Disney Studios, there's like literally I just pictured this big like chrome round shaped and you have to spin that thing to open it like
and then you open it's just like a magical world of thumbprints.
They got
maybe it is. I don't know the answer to that.
They got like Walt Disney's hand. It's just like his real hand cut off and he's got to scan it.
It's in a little placeholder like where you put like next to the fire there's like the what are they called, the things that you poke the wood with.
Oh, I don't even I you know what's funny, I had to buy one of those poker sticks. I don't think they're called poker.
I think they're called poker sticks, man.
I was trying to buy one for someone's housewarming, and I was like, "What are they called?" So I just went on Amazon and was like,
"Fireplace pokers."
Okay, there you go.
They're called pokers.
Yeah.
So it's like a poker, but it's just like his hand attached to the top of the poker, and you just kind of put it up, and then
you could have said a cane.
A cane could have worked, but then like there's the cane doesn't have like the sharp little poker thing that you could put into the base of the hand.
Well, it's just like the Jurassic Park cane that had the little, or Biff from Back to the Future. It was the fist.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen Back to the Future in a minute, dude.
Well,
and I know that's like your favorite, but I gotta
watch it at least twice a year.
Yeah, it always holds up.
Yeah, I think I saw bits and pieces of it in Dubai because there was one channel in English that just played movies. I watched Casino like 3 times when I was in Dubai.
Old, like whenever I'm down, like any older like Zemeckis film or there's any of those like Spielberg feel good classics.
Yeah, it's the best.
Dude, Indiana Jones.
Jones.
You know what's funny? I didn't watch most of those films when I was a kid. Like my dad just never introduced them to me or anything like that. So I like discovered a lot of these later. Like even like I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch Indiana Jones until like 2 years ago.
Wow, dude! Don't take this the wrong way. I would love to date you. I would love to date you.
So you can show me movies.
I love it. Whenever Jen's like, I haven't seen that movie, I'm like, oh my God, we gotta watch it. It's so fun to watch. It's like you're watching it for the first time, experiencing it with.
Zoe's the same way. We're like, I love. I think what I love, at least it works in our, because the worst thing is sharing something you love with someone and then they don't like it. You know what I mean? Or they're just like, there's like, I think that's like a meme online where like someone's on their phone while you're like sharing.
Oh, if they're on the phone while you're,
right? You know,
you don't do that to her, do you?
No, I don't. And she doesn't do that to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, but yeah, I think like we both like sharing things with each other, and we both enjoy having things shared with us.
Yeah, and we start new traditions. Like we'll like watch some of our favorites annually. You know, like we're
once they become
I watch Back to the Future every year in October because it's like October 5th, 1955 was the day time travel was invented. Right. So I literally watch it every October 5th. I do stuff like that.
That's so cute. That's like the definition of adorable.
Do you want to? Oh, it gets better, dude. So we have also our favorite Christmas movies that we watch every year around Christmas, and it's enough movies that we can fill the entire month of December. And we have a dryer. Oh,
sorry, you froze.
Oh,
for me.
really? You froze for me too, and I was like, he could still hear me.
No, sorry,
so I'll keep going.
You're good.
I was saying, so like we have our favorite Christmas movies that we watch every year, and it's enough to fill every day in December. So we'll watch a movie like almost every day in December, and we have a dry erase board on the refrigerator that I write the movies on. It's a magnet dry erase board that goes on the fridge, and we cross it off as we go. And then when it's not the holidays, we think of a movie to watch and we write it down on the board. So we have always have because you know when you go like you want to watch a movie tonight, but you sit there wasting time going.
And you're like, what are we going to
watch?
You Google like,
do you want to watch this?
Movies you must see before you die.
Exactly. So we just. Like whenever we think of a movie we should watch, we just write it on the board on the fridge. So when we go like, what do you want to watch tonight? We're like, check the board, and there's like 5 we can choose from. Yeah. That
sounds like it would be a really good TikTok that somebody would share. Just be like life hack.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I should do that. And you know what, dude? I was gonna say about DVDs. It's like here's the best thing about a DVD, hands down. I would say a runner-up best thing is that. You can watch it whenever you want. I don't got to go, which network has it? That one's got it for free. Oh, that one I got to rent it for $2.99. And then I got to answer all the questions. Do you want to watch it right now? You have it for 24 hours, all that stuff. So that's a good one. The best thing about DVDs.
The extras?
The bonus footage, dude. You got outtakes. Making of is the best. Seeing how a film was made, watching the actors do a scene on a blue screen. Dude, Inception behind the scenes.
Insane. I was listening to a podcast with the production designer from Inception, and in the third act they're like in that like snowscape.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Did they have behind the scenes footage of that?
I don't remember. We should go back and we should check.
Okay. So apparently that was like nothing. There was nothing there. And all that's actually like practically built. So they built that whole set on like a national. It was like I think it was like some form of like a national park, and it was just flat land covered in snow. But they couldn't build actual foundation on top of it, right? Because it would ruin the land. So what they did, dude, is they built essentially it's built on a foundation of ice, right? So all of it is just built on ice. So once they broke it down. And the weather warmed up, the foundation just melted, and it was right back to where it was.
Wow, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
They're so smart. I love watching that's why I love the behind the scenes, dude. And that, by the way, that scene from the third act, when they fight in the snow, and they get into that building, and that's like the fifth layer of dream to get into Killian. That movie is phenomenal. And by the way, most of my favorite actors right now are in that movie. Tom Hardy. Cillian Murphy is like the best, and is it Cillian or Cillian? It's Cillian, right?
I'm not sure. Let's look it up. So then we're saying it right. But I just saw A Quiet Place 2 last night, and he was really good.
Dude, I was gonna end this podcast by saying, let me guess what you watched, because you said you went to the movies.
Yes.
And I was gonna guess A Quiet Place 2. Well, it was either that or like What else would you have watched? Spiral or Cruella?
Cruella. Although I heard Cruella is very good.
I'm hearing it's good. From the
Yeah.
trailers, it looks like they're trying to go edgier with the character, like a Harley Quinn. I got like a Harley Quinn feel.
Yeah, I can see that. Killian, by the way.
I am saying it right. Okay.
You're saying it right. Yeah,
Dude,
Killian.
I love him.
He's very good.
Love him.
Have you
bro.
ever seen? Speaking of movies that got shared with, or you shared with, whatever.
Oh, hold on. Let me finish my thought really quick.
Sorry.
I was
Okay,
gonna
go
say
ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say that room where they get into his dream, Killian Murphy, to plant the seed, to plant an idea in his dream. That vault, that's the Disney vault. The worst callback.
Oh, what a great no,
Sorry, go ahead.
Best callback. I love it. But I think what I loved about it was you were so excited.
I was like, ooh.
You were just
ooh.
like, you saw it. And I could see the inside of your
Yeah,
brain.
the
like,
vault opens and his dad's in the hospital bed. But that's Walt Disney, and then there's the safe next to the bed. That's the Disney vault.
That's great.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, have you ever seen Moonstruck
Moonstruck.
with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, and Cher. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd never seen that movie, and then that's like one of Zoe's family's like holiday watches.
Yeah. Is she Italian?
And no,
Oh, okay. Italians
No.
love that movie.
but I love
good.
that movie. It's
It's
just so campy. I also love movies that just don't take themselves too seriously,
Mhm.
and they're just fun, and like the story's good, the characters are funny.
I
like
might be
the
wrong.
love story.
I might be wrong, but I think it's nominated, or she might have gotten nominated for Best
I think
Actress
she
for
was
that
nominated
movie.
I think I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, dude, that blows my mind. Like whenever I see like you see like old Elliot Gould, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go, that dude was the biggest thing in the world for like a good period of time, and then he's just like the dad in Friends now. You know what I mean? And he's great in Friends,
Crazy.
you know, in the '90s. But
Yeah.
like, did she get? Nominated? I love this stuff.
I mean, yeah, like Peter Boyle, was the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond, but that guy was like
he
a
was
phenomenal actor when he was young. He's, Frankenstein.
Also, I was gonna say best Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein, right? I think he was Young Frankenstein, and then I think he was in a movie with Gene Wilder. And dude, he's in Taxi with Robert De Niro.
That was Young Frankenstein.
That is Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, because
okay.
he plays
Gotcha.
the monster, and then
Yeah.
Gene Wilder plays.
Dude,
Frankenstein.
he's one of the taxi
Or
drivers.
no, sorry,
from Taxi.
not
yeah.
Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Is that how
Gene
your
Wilder
dad
makes
says it?
No, that's how. That's the bit in the movie.
Oh.
That he doesn't want to be called Frankenstein. He's like, it's Frankenstein.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Gene Wilder's another one that like
Yeah.
you go back and you watch him.
He was phenomenal, dude. He's so
So
good.
good.
And funny.
You know why? Well, he was funny, but I think there was always like a real emotion there and real heart in his performances. And
Yeah.
He was like a real person.
Some people
and,
you just
like,
can't keep your eyes off them. That's what I say. I go,
Yeah.
I go. You can't keep your eyes off them. Like I think Leonardo DiCaprio, I think Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy. Like I can watch them in anything. Like they're just great to watch. The movie could be shit. It's like I just want to watch them play all day.
Whatever it is. I was on a little. Well, first it was an '80s action like comedy kicks, and I was watching Beverly Hills Cop, which is great. Eddie Murphy's so good. But then I watched Bowfinger, which I hadn't seen since it was like I was a kid and it was in theaters. And obviously Steve Martin's great in that. But Eddie Murphy's really funny in Bowfinger as well.
You know what? I
Eddie
haven't
Murphy's
seen that.
just like a legend. You haven't seen Bowfinger?
No, I should watch it.
Bowfinger's good.
But I love that.
It's in.
That your girlfriend's like getting you to watch these great movies that you've somehow have missed.
I mean,
it's
but
wonderful.
like that's I hate the like. I think no, I agree because I feel like I don't like people that feel like they're better because they've seen more movies than you.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? They're
well,
like
they are.
Well, they are. Sure.
They're definitely more cultured.
They're definitely more cultured. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you never saw
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. No. You never saw Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, you uncultured swine.
But like for me, if I was like I feel like I've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But obviously, like there's a ton of movies
There's,
that I haven't.
of course.
Seen. I mean, there always will be.
Right.
But like, if I was somebody who like dedicated their life to movies and has seen more than is in like the top 0.1% of like movie watchers and films watch, I wouldn't. If you're there, and I don't think everyone who's there is like this. I think there are those that are like think they're better than everyone else because of what they've seen. And then what I love are the people that love it so much that they've seen so many movies, but they love to share it.
They love
let
people
to
know.
be like, oh, you got to see this. And it's not like cynical or pessimistic. It's just like, it has like Back to the Future vibes. Like your love for movies is like a Back to the Future vibe. Or like, you know, it's a Zemeckis film or like a Spielberg film. It's just like, there's like a wholesomeness behind it and excitement and optimism and like a joy. And
I have a new love for Tarantino films too. Like I've always liked Tarantino films and I've seen them before, but like I'm in a phase where I'm going back and watching it. I'm going like I love all of his movies. Like Pulp Fiction is like it's amazing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just realize there's so much out there. There's also, I just think about, forget when I was never alive, like pre-92, right? Where there's just like masterpieces on masterpieces on masterpieces. But then just like, I actually have been like finding a real love for like, because there was a big indie boom in like the 90s going into like the 2000s. And, you know, it's finding, like, I love Philip Seymour Hoffman, right? One of the best to ever do it. But, you know, you find the small movies that he did that like, I never, ever, ever have heard of, that he didn't get Oscar nominations from. That was just like there's this movie called like The Savages that he's in, which is phenomenal. And it's Tamara Jenkins. Tamara Jenkins is the director, but it's a small little movie about like his about a relationship between a brother and a sister. And I only
you can tell a good actor because they'll do those like. This is not a huge blockbuster. They'll
but the
do
story's so good. And they're the reason they're able to elevate that story. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, obviously there's these, the big names and the no names and the known films, your top 100 IMDb or whatever. Yeah. And then there's like the art house films and the film school films and all that. Yeah. And then there's just like films like that just like, they got made and they're, you should see, you like Paul Giamatti? Yeah. Do you like Catherine Hahn?
I don't know who that is.
If you Google her, you'll know her. She's
probably, yeah.
Yeah, she's super funny.
I wouldn't say I love Paul Giamatti. Like, I'm not running to go see a new Paul Giamatti movie.
Paul Giamatti movie, yeah.
You know,
but
I can only think of like Lady in the Water. Is that him?
Lady in the Water.
Isn't that Paul Giamatti?
I never saw Lady in the Water.
I'm also thinking of Fred Claus.
Is that M. Night Shyamalan?
I think so.
Yeah, it is Paul Giamatti. You're right.
Or the driver from there's a movie about the woman who sold the story Mary Poppins to Disney, and Paul Giamatti plays her driver. That's a good one. That's a really good movie.
That came out like a few years ago?
No, I think it's maybe 2006, maybe two. Yeah. It's pretty good. Like, it's the woman that like Walt Disney was like adamant about having that story, and she just did not want to sell it because she didn't want him to turn it into like a cartoon. It's a pretty interesting story, actually. It's good.
I'll check it out.
BJ Novak is in it too.
I feel like I've seen this movie. You're talking about it, and now I feel like I've seen it. It's like, here you go, Mary Poppins, Paul Giamatti, Saving Mr. Banks.
Saving Mr. Banks. Yeah.
I have seen Saving Mr. Banks. Yeah.
I think Mr. Banks is her dad, which is why the movie meant so much to her that she wrote it like a character based off of him. What was I going to tell you? You know what's cool is that like Jen has also introduced me to movies, which like, you know, so she moved to this country. She was 25. That explains why she hasn't seen all of our movies, right? So, but she introduces me to movies because she would show me like things that I considered to be chick flicks, so I never even watched them. But watching them, it's like, these are phenomenal movies. And
like, what are some of them? Because you know me, dude. I love a chick flick, which are just
it's not even
good movies.
Maybe it's rom-com, and it's like, I don't like chick flicks, but these aren't chick flicks. These are well-written movies. Like this, I just love. You could tell the writing is amazing. It's Sleepless in Seattle. I don't give a shit what names you want to call me. that movie is phenomenal. If you
There's
don't think
nothing-
that
they're
movie's
just good
phenomenal,
movies.
I don't. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dude, When Harry Met Sally, are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
That
But these
is
are classics.
yeah, that's a New Year's Eve movie, dude.
Yeah.
And then
That's another one that I didn't see till like a few years ago.
Me too. Me
Was
too.
With Harry Met Sally.
It's
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. It's so, dude. Billy Crystal, when he was younger, is phenomenal. I'm not saying he's not good anymore, but he does a lot of silly movies now. But
Is there any?
by the way,
better
hold on a
feeling-
second. Look at my
Sorry.
screensaver really quick.
Okay.
This is the screensaver of my phone. I don't know if you can see. It's literally Billy Crystal
What a handsome guy.
from City Slickers. I just love that he's going like one thing in life. Did you ever see City Slickers?
I haven't seen City Slickers.
Dude, you
All right.
and your girl are going.
I'll put it on the list.
It's a comedy adventure love story, bro.
Oh,
Billy
I got one for
Crystal.
you.
Yeah.
Have you seen Defending Your Life?
No.
Albert Brooks, Meryl Streep.
Oh, I like Meryl Streep.
So good.
All right, text me when
So good.
when we're
I'll
done, so I
send it-
remember.
Yeah, when we're done. Defending
You're
Your
gonna
Life
love
is
City
good.
Slickers. It's hilarious. I went back and watched it recently. I mean, I grew up watching it because my dad had it on VHS and he watched it all the time. But I went back and recently rewatched it. I'm like, so funny, so good, so well made. The music score makes a movie, dude. Like
Yeah.
you'll cry at the end. Like you'll cry at the end.
Okay.
It's good.
Oh, I love a good cry.
Here's the last one I'll throw at you that Jen got me into, and now I watch it probably like once a year. 500 Days of Summer. That's like a newer one. That's a good. I guess it's a chick flick, but
Guess what? Never saw it.
oh, dude, you
Which
guys
is-
would like that one.
Which is surprising because 500 Days of Summer came out right. I think I was probably like 15 or something like that. Like 15, 16, which is like the height of my like I want to find love phase.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
like a teenager. So it feels like a movie that I should have seen, but I never saw.
You should. You guys would both like it.
I'll check it out.
You really, really, really would enjoy it. You're gonna thank me, bro, for those two movies I just gave.
Okay, cool.
It's Joseph
What-
Gordon-Levitt and
Oh,
Zoe
he's great.
Deschanel.
Yeah, I'm sure it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, is there any better feeling? I mean, sure there is, but I think it's for me. It's like one of the top 5 feelings in life when you watch a new movie that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
It just fucking
Yeah.
slaps.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're like, holy shit.
On all cylinders, hitting
On
every.
all cylinders. You're just like, this
Yeah.
is great, and I'm feeling things, or I'm laughing really hard. Or
Yes.
and you're just like, it's a discovery. It's like finding a fucking
Yeah.
treasure chest.
I feel the same
Ugh.
way. That's why I love movies so much. That's why I love stand-up comedy. I'm still, even though I've been doing it for 12 years, I'm a fan of it still. And nothing is better than live stand-up comedy. You get those when you get a feeling when a comic gives you that hits home, registered, everything, relating to it, laughing, crying.
I think I convinced myself during this pandemic that I didn't miss stand-up as like a psychological coping mechanism
Mhm.
because I knew I couldn't do it, and
So you lied to
if we're
yourself.
What?
So you lied to
I
yourself.
think I did, dude. I think I
Yeah.
really convinced myself that I was like, I don't miss stand-up. Maybe I'm not. I'd be okay if I don't ever do stand-up again. Like I was really having these like thoughts, and I really believed it, and I like felt at peace with that notion. And then I went back and I did stand-up. And the first time I went back after the pandemic, because I'd never gone a year, I'd never gone more than like a week without doing stand-up in 9 years or something.
Yeah.
And then I come back, and I remember it was like out of body. I don't really remember. I just remember being like, oh, fuck. It's like you're like getting recalibrated. But the second time was a showcase. It was like a JFL showcase.
Yeah.
And I went up, and you know what happened, dude? I think for the first time, truly didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that, like, in the past, I always put so much pressure on, like, doing well.
You want to do well. Yeah.
Getting validation, whatever it is. And it felt like the pandemic, like, totally reset and changed my perspective on, like, what does and doesn't matter,
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think that whether I have a good set is the end all be all the way that I
Right.
used to think it was.
As soon
Like,
as
having
you
a
stop
great
caring,
set-
dude, like if you stop
Yeah.
caring so much, I'm not saying like don't care at all, but like definitely, yeah, the way that you're thinking about it, like it's not gonna end. Like I'm not gonna die if I have a bad set. Like what's the worst thing that could happen? And as soon as you stop caring, it's like it gives you this freedom to not hold yourself back and stick to your script and and just like if something pops in your head, just say it. You know, I don't care.
And also, I was so worried, honestly, about forgetting my jokes in a 6-minute set because I hadn't done stand-up for so long. I legitimately was like, I'm going to forget. And like, what happened 4 minutes in? I forgot my next bit. What did I do? I riffed on forgetting my bit. I got a laugh, and then I moved on.
Yeah.
But moral of the story is, I definitely miss stand-up.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest thing.
Well, I'm glad, dude. Well, that's good because you'll be excited about it again, you know, which is great. I love that it's back, and to me, it's like it's almost like starting again, except I have experience now. You know what I mean?
But do you feel the same way as far as like the pressure that you put on yourself before this past year versus like now, just in life in general, and in like goals and the things that matter and don't matter?
No,
like,
I wouldn't say I feel that way because I am.
You already had a healthy relationship.
I'm looking at it as this is a fresh new start and an opportunity for me who's been doing this 12 years, and I feel I'm pretty good at it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to boast myself and say I'm the best. I'm obviously not the best ever. Of course not. But I know I'm very good at it, and I just know that I haven't gotten the recognition that I deserve. I could say that without feeling like I'm boasting myself. And
that's fair.
So this is like comics moved from Los Angeles, a lot of them. Half of them because they thought another state was going to be the next comedy city, which I don't really think it is. And half of them just couldn't stay in LA anymore, so they moved. And so there's less competition here now. The Comedy Store has new management. A lot of comedy clubs have new management because they couldn't, or at least they have new talent bookers because a lot of the people, they couldn't sit there and not have a job for a year, so they went and did other things. They quit. So, dude, there's just a lot of that's why I say it's like starting again. So I'm not looking at it as like less pressure because I actually do have goals, and I'm looking at it as actually, if anything, more goals to go like.
Yeah. Well, I guess
goals, go for it.
I mean, you have to have goals,
right?
Obviously,
right.
You can't just be like, well, just whatever happens, like laissez-faire, whatever. But like, I guess I continuously feel like I fell into the trap of having goals, accomplishing those goals, not acknowledging that I accomplished those goals, and immediately thinking about what's the next thing that I need to accomplish, what's the next level up, and like because some of those goals were like qualitative goals, like they were like, I want to have a good 10 and a good 15 and then a good half hour and then a good hour or whatever. And it's so easy to just not. It's the like journey, not destination shit that like you do a million trillion times. But like once that actually clicks, like at least then you can find some joy day to day,
exactly,
in pursuit of those goals, as opposed to feeling like achieving that goal is going to have a snap effect on your happiness and on the way that you feel day to day.
I say this all the time, and I think that I even tweeted it pretty recently. People always, especially in our industry, but I'm sure many industries, you'll say, I'm trying to make it. Like, if you're famous, you made it. Like, I made it, right? Yeah. And people don't understand that you already have made it. It's just what's making it to you, that you're famous? Or what is making it? Like you're on stage performing, which is what you wanted to do, and is what you love. You wrote something. Now you're performing it to a crowd, and people are responding. You made it.
Yeah.
Because forget about money. If you can make a living off of it, you definitely made it.
Right.
But forget about money. You're not getting paid. Your soul's getting paid. Like you're getting paid in love. Like you are spreading love. You're doing what you love, so you're getting love back. It's just you made it.
Well, what you're talking about, I think, is like is it just me, or does it feel like there's like a segment of like society and culture that is right now purely driven on it's, I mean, well, I guess it always has been that way. It's just like, that's driven by money and accomplishing and power and fame.
Yeah.
And just these sort of like ephemeral things.
Right.
But like there's no joy and fulfillment in that. And it's like, it's sort of the same thing with like my phone. Like I've been trying to use my phone less or whatever.
Right.
Because I was like, I had this thought, I was looking at my screen time and I was like, what percentage of my day is my screen time? Right? On average or whatever. And it was something like 20% of my day.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot.
And I went, fuck, dude, do I want to be 80? Forget 80. Do I want to be 50? We'll just say in like 20 years and be like, wow, I spent the last 30 years of my life, 20% of it, 6 of those years was on my phone. Yeah. And like scrolling through TikTok. And I went, so in the same way, it's like, do I want to look back and be like, I spent my life chasing things that don't actually, they don't make the happiness. They might subsidize the happiness. Right. Like money's nice, you know what I mean? But money can make you feel happier. Right. But I don't think money makes you happy.
Well, that's right. Of course not. But that's the thing about like being a famous, like in our industry, comedian or famous anything, or being the best at. I mean, you could be like the best guy who makes French fries at McDonald's, whatever. But like being a famous comedian means your money. Money means freedom. So that is the goal. And what is freedom? Freedom is no more. Hey Daniel, you can't do that joke. Can you be clean tonight? That joke offends some people. Don't do that one. That's what freedom is. You don't have to worry about that anymore. People bought a ticket to come see you. It's your show. For sure. You say whatever you want to say. That's what freedom is. Money is, I want to make that movie. I have money. I'll make the movie. Money is freedom for your creativity, which is obviously what you want to be able to do. But I mean, if you're doing what you love doing, that is success. People don't realize how many people don't know what they love. They've tried several things, and it was nothing was. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It makes me so happy. I'll never get sick of it.
You're fucking nailing it, dude.
Right? Like
you are, because like if you genuinely, like, not like bullshit saying it, but really feel and believe that being able to get on stage and just tell a joke and get a laugh or not get a laugh, just the experience is enough.
It's success in its own.
If it is a success in its own, then you'll never fail.
Yeah.
Like you'll never fail. You'll only succeed in a greater scope within the construct of what our society classifies as success.
Yeah.
That's it. But like your spirit, your fucking soul, dude. Yeah. Then you're good.
That's the best thing that you got to feed. That's the most important thing that you need to feed is your soul, right? And other people's, you know what I mean? And you know, make other people happy. And dude, next time you're in an audition or you had a bad set or you showcase for Montreal and you didn't get picked and you're crying, think about people that don't even know what they want and have been searching their whole life for it. You know what you want, you know what you love, and you're doing it. That's a success story.
Yeah, or it's there and they can't see it too, and
exactly,
it's like it's even as simple as just like, all right, I fundamentally know that spending time with my friends, spending time with my family, you know what I mean? Yeah. Those things make me happy. So if on your average day, I actively make choices to go do those things that aren't like, it's so, isn't it? It just feels so like, then I'm good. Yeah. And I'll work hard and I'll do whatever to, like, you know, to be able to exist in society. But like, if you don't do that, whatever the version of that shit is that makes you happy, the stand-up, the spending time with the friends, the family, whatever it is, and be able to see it and act on it, then like none of the other stuff matters.
Exactly, dude.
You're just going to be the sad dude on a boat.
That line from The Office. Well, you have a yacht, so you're obviously doing pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least there's that. That's true.
I like how in your worst fantasy that you created, you're still on a boat.
You still have a boat. Fucking privilege, yes. Fucking perspective over here. Yeah.
It's hilarious, though. That's what. Don't ever change, bro, because it's hilarious.
But also, in that construct, this is the person that did get the money and did get all those shiny things.
Right.
But didn't see or act on any of those, any of the like the ephemeral things, the things that like, They didn't feed their soul like you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On the other hand, bro, there are days where I don't feel like seeing my family, but there's usually days. There's never been a day I didn't feel like doing stand-up. Like, there's never been like, you want to do a show, and I was like, I don't feel like it. I might have turned it down because of time or money, but I've never turned the show down because I didn't feel like performing. You know?
Yeah, that's.
You can
fair.
find
Also,
that thing that makes you feel that way.
I still got to do that lobster roll, man, because I feel like that lobster roll in Malibu is going to make me feel that way.
You got to go do it, dude. You got to. I've been making it, man. I've been making it at home. Well, Pavilion stopped selling it. Huh? Oh, it's good, bro. It's good.
You're I got to say, you're like one of those rare people that post their photo on Instagram.
And it actually looks good.
Food photos. And I'm like, I would eat that.
Dude, my food's good.
That looks good.
I'm a good cook. We should probably end this podcast. By the way, we talked about doing a short one. But
it was not short.
It was over an hour. Yeah, a short one's like 30. But you know how we, like, dude, that's why we should start hiking again. Because, like, you know, we haven't seen each other for a while. Then we, like, talk about...
I know, so then we just, like, keep... I mean, we talked about traffic for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So...
We should do a hike on weekends, because the problem with doing it on weekdays so early in the morning is I don't feel like talking that much that early in the morning. You know?
It's funny. Meanwhile, I had my almond milk latte. I'm like, let's fucking chat.
Yeah.
And you're just like... Dude, can you shut the fuck up for a second?
But this woke me up, dude. Like, once you get going on something, movies, comedy, I can talk forever. And, dude, I was hanging today. That's why I didn't feel well. I'm hung over, bro. Like, I never get hung over. I never get hung over. Like, I drink a lot. You didn't drink
anymore. You didn't really drink much.
No, I drink. I drink more than I ever have in my life.
I don't know why I had that.
Yeah, but, like, I drink a lot and never feel anything the next day. And honestly, the last couple of like the last year, I don't even get drunk anymore. Like, I could drink a lot and I still barely even feel anything. My tolerance is super high.
What do you drink? Are you like a beer or a liquor guy?
I switch it up between certain things. I love beer, but I don't drink it often because it's just so heavy and fattening. I do gin and tonic for like since I was 30. My 30s are gin and tonic all day, bro. I do the sugar-free tonic and
how's sugar-free tonic? Never had it.
I can't go back to non-sugar-free.
Well, I mean, I had a period like in my early 20s when I was drinking like vodka tonics.
Yeah.
And I thought the tonic water was like club soda.
You thought there's no sugar?
Extra. I thought there was no sugar. I was drinking these. I'm like, I'm healthy. Meanwhile, I'm just packing on.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this happening?
Yeah, I get the sugar-free.
I'm drinking healthy.
And most people think I'm crazy. Like, how can you drink the sugar-free one? And I'm just like, I don't know how you can drink the regular one. I'm so used to it. It has like a specific
It's probably
taste.
so sweet now.
Yeah, exactly. You go back and it's so sweet. And yeah, I'm like, but I'll tell you, I went to the Haha last night. Of course, that's the place where I'm going to go to get my first hangover in years. Which, like, I don't know I almost kind of feel like someone roofied me or something. Like, I was fine and then I got home and all of a sudden everything hit me at once and, like, I couldn't move. It was weird, dude.
Well, because they pour the drinks heavy.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem when you have friends who are bartenders. My night started at my friend's bar while he was bartending. And then, which obviously, you know, you get hooked up with heavy pours. And then I went to the Haha, which, like, you know, I know everybody there. And they're same thing, heavy pours. It wasn't good, dude. It wasn't good. But I'm glad I went home and, you know, fucking.
I'm glad you hung and that you're able to still do this.
Yeah.
And
but this woke me up, so now I feel better, dude.
So do I. I feel wonderful.
Yeah. Now you got your energy.
now I'm like, let's go do something.
Well, it's nice and cool out. You guys should go for a walk because the sun is going down.
I might. Yeah.
And you haven't been out all day. And then
Thank
you guys
for looking out for my mental
You got
health.
it, bro. Then you guys should come back and watch City Slickers.
Okay. I'll do it and I'll report back, and then you have to watch Defending Your Life.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Thanks for coming on. Go ahead and hit end so I can say bye to these guys. And dude, It was great talking to you, man. I really enjoyed this.
Good talking to you too, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Love you, dude.
Love you too, bro. Peace. Daniel Weingarten, everybody. That guy is a very talented writer, stand-up comedian, and I've known him since he was 19 years old. I met him. The first day he showed up to do an open mic, and I was working at the comedy club at the time. So I've known that kid for a long time, and for a long time he was in our tight circle, and it's just great to see him. He's writing for a show on Disney, I think, right now. So it's just great to see how far he's come, and I'm glad to last time we talked when we were on one of our hikes, he told me that he didn't really miss stand-up, so I'm glad to hear that he's like excited about it again, and I'm excited for him. And it's the greatest thing in the world to know what you love and actually know what you want and go after it. So I hope that's what you guys are doing, guys. If you're listening to this right now on Saturday, Saturday the 5th, I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. Get tickets at homeschoolpod.com, homeschoolpod.com. Click on tour and make sure that you also get tickets for Austin, Texas, June 11th and 12th. I'm there with Lee Syatt. And while you're on the website, click on merch, pick yourself up a Homeschool Podcast t-shirt. We got the Document the Journey. We got the Ex-Presidents, which is dope. And we also have the Only Love Can Save the World for my tour, which is called Only Love Can Save the World Tour. And pick up a shirt so when you come out to the show, you're already rocking one. So we know the real fucking who rolls with us. You guys, I'm Augustino Zoida. This is Homeschooled Podcast. Don't forget, the Only Love Can Save the World. Peace. Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
No, okay.
I don't want to do that at all.